Before the video really begins, I want to state that if you care about spoilers, you should not watch this video because I will get into major spoilers in this video. I'll give you a few seconds to leave now. Also, I was constantly changing the quality of the streams where I got the footage for this video before I found the right settings for a good quality stream, so I am sorry about the quality of most of this footage. Alright, that seems like enough time for people to leave if they care about spoilers, so if you're still here, then you're okay with spoilers. So here we go. So what did you do at the end? Did you kill your uncle or did you spare him? Never mind. I'll get into that later. Also, don't you hate flash forwards in movies? I mean, the rest of the movie you don't feel any danger for the characters because you know they survive until the flash forward. Anyway, at the start of this game you get to select how you'd like to experience the game, which you can change later, but I want to highlight the Kurosawa mode, which adds a black and white filter with Japanese dialogue and English subtitles. This is inspired by the movies of the legendary filmmaker Akira Kurosawa. However, the lip syncing in this game were made with English in mind, and the lip sync is off with the Japanese audio, so I selected English with English subtitles. We begin with the first interactions between the samurai and the Mongols.
Send your finest warrior to face me!
Nada, Jinnida.
Oh, bring that shit. Bring it. He looks familiar.
I am Harunobu Adachi, descendant of the legendary Yoshinobu Adachi.
Oh, dishonor on you and your family and your cow. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, the samurai get massacred. So Jin is saved by this badass thief ninja type girl named Yuna, and we start on this quest to save Jin's uncle, who was captured by the big con guy that we want to kill. Along the way there are side missions, and the main side missions are about the people that become Jin's close allies. For me, these missions were interesting, and of course I finished them all before the main quest because that's just how I play these kinds of games. With the help of Jin's allies, they rescue Jin's uncle, who then continues the war on the Mongol invasion, but he disapproves of how Jin has been fighting. Jin and his uncle argue about how they should handle the situation, then they split ways. Jin finally gets to the big con guy and kills him. Ooh, that's satisfying. And that's basically the main story. But I want to talk more about the game and the game mechanics. All I really wanted to do in this game was just be a badass samurai, and it is the reason I got the game in the first place. And while we're on the topic of fighting, let's talk about the combat in this game. Combat is fun. Whenever I would see an opportunity to stand off, I often hit up on the D-pad as fast as I can and just get into the combat. Once in combat, it's really about breaking through an enemy's defenses, either by brute force or by dodging or parrying. As you progress through the story, you obtain ghost skills and equipment like kunai and smoke bombs. These skills and items do come in handy if you do want to go the stealthy route of gameplay, or if you get overwhelmed with the amount of enemies you fight. In Ghost of Tsushima, you gain experience from almost everything you do. Once you level up, you obtain technique points which can be used to unlock or upgrade techniques on your skill tree. The skill tree in this game can be fully unlocked, so you don't really have to worry about where to place the technique points by the middle of the game. But I would recommend unlocking all the stances in the game as soon as you can. While we're talking about technique points, by the end of the game I had an extra technique point that I didn't know what it was for. Turns out it was from purchasing the deluxe edition of this game. The best advice for unlocking all the stances as quickly as possible is to observe a Mongol leader in a camp or fort and then kill the same Mongol leader to get 2 bars towards the next stance unlock, instead of just the 1 bar for just killing the Mongol leaders. The bow and arrow in this game is weak at first, but once upgraded it is kind of overpowered, especially with the right equipment. I personally didn't focus on this and mainly focused on the melee combat. Speaking of melee combat, there are one-on-one duels in this game which are the most difficult combat moments in the game. And I found them super enjoyable. The AI in these duels are definitely harder and usually have a few tricks to make the combat interesting. Currency in this game amounts to supplies needed to upgrade equipment alongside other materials like leather and iron. Flowers can also be collected to purchase cosmetic variants for your equipment or outfits. Banners can be found across Tsushima as well, and these can be exchanged for different saddles on your horse. You'll also find towns with gift altars, where you can get extra supplies and mass as you level up. From time to time, you'll come across bards telling legends, which leads you to get either a technique or equipment from those legends. These were fun, and the legends themselves were entertaining to watch. Throughout Tsushima, there are shrines. These shrines were like obstacle courses and sometimes puzzles where either I had a fun time or got a little frustrated because of a weird object interaction, or when I didn't know where to go because I missed something obvious.
What the fuck? Oh, there. Jesus.
Once you get to the shrine and honor it, you get these charms that upgrade stats for Jin, or change how the game is played a little bit, like making it easier to dodge and parry. Also at these shrines, I always admire how fucking beautiful this game is. Which makes me wonder how the fuck Halo Infinite looks so bad when it's supposed to be next gen. I mean, look at that. I mean, I know they are also developing the game for current gen, but still. Sorry, got off track. This game is fucking beautiful, which makes the photo mode another great addition. Also, what is it with the photo modes being in first-party PlayStation games lately? Was there like an executive order that they had to put photo modes in all of the first-party games? But anyway, the photo mode in Ghost of Tsushima is really robust, with so many different settings, all to get the best picture you can get while traversing all across Tsushima. Speaking of traversing Tsushima, early in the game, it makes you choose a horse and name it. I chose this horse and named it Nobu. Now, over the course of the game, I bonded with Nobu, and then later in the game, this happens.
Oh, Nobu.
I'm sorry I couldn't protect you.
I told you there were going to be spoilers. While we're talking about horses in this game, I want to note that if you got the deluxe edition of the game, it is after the first horse you named has died and you progress the story a little bit more that you finally get the option to choose the horse exclusive to the deluxe version of the game, which makes me feel like I should have just progressed through the story until this point, but then I wouldn't have bonded with Nobu and wouldn't really care as much when Nobu dies. Because fuck you, game, for killing Nobu. What was the next thing? Oh yeah, charms. The way to unlock more slots to equip more charms is to find these fox dens, where these foxes guide you to Inato shrines, which you will need to make Jin a better killing machine. Side note, you can pet the foxes sometimes after honoring the shrines, which you gotta pet the foxes. Oh, look how happy it is to have done its job leading us to Inato shrine. Good little fox. There's a point in this game where some bastards kill the foxes, and I killed all of them. I slaughtered them all like animals. Next thing on the list is bamboo strikes. These were a fun little mini game to increase your resolve meter. The resolve meter can be used to heal yourself and do some cool stuff in the game. The bamboo strikes are a simple mini game. It involves you just remembering the button prompts in a certain order, and don't worry, the button prompts don't change. And you can actually make the bamboo strikes easier by adjusting some things in the accessibility settings. Onsens. Other than a fun video of the actor who plays Jin seeing his butt in the video game.
Yes! Why am I saying yes to my own butt? I don't know.
It really is only used to increase your maximum health by a teeny tiny bit with each onsen that you find. Pillars of Honor. Usually you'll see some dead bodies next to these pillars, and on the pillars are skins for your sword. Next up, haikus. Haikus were like a breather in the game. You get to admire the scenery or sometimes the ruin and destruction of the area and compose these haikus. After making the haiku, you are gifted a headband that you can wear based on the theme of the haiku that you made. Totally for aesthetics, but pretty cool. Speaking of aesthetics, I really wish you could swap some of the abilities of the armor / outfits, because I personally just wanted to use a Ronin outfit throughout the entirety of the game, but felt like I needed to use certain outfits I didn't feel like wearing because of the abilities attached to particular outfits. One of the other cool things about this game is that if you liberate all the camps and forts in a portion of Tsushima, it clears that portion of the map of map fog, and you can see where all the fox dens, shrines, pillars of honor, onsens, and haikus are on that portion of the map, which is a great feature that I wish more open world games did. Since this is a Sucker Punch game, there are going to be choices you can make during the story, and you do make choices in this game as well. But from what I could tell from the majority of the choices that you can make, none really mattered, except for the last choice. And now we're finally at the flash forward point. At the end of the main story, you get to choose to either kill your uncle or spare him.
Of course I'm gonna let him live. Fuck you.
I chose the spare him. At the beginning of this game, I wanted to play Ghost of Tsushima so I could just walk up to a camp, yell, "Fight me!" and then go to town on some bad guys as a badass samurai. Jin was pretty much exactly like that in the beginning of the game as well. However, over time the game forces you to be stealthy, and I started to implement this when it didn't require me to be stealthy. By the end of the game, Jin was a mix of badass samurai and stealthy ninja, which by the way, Jin is totally a ninja by the end of the game, even if they don't ever say the word ninja in the game. And so, I give Ghost of Tsushima 5 tenchus out of 5. While you're still here, I'd like to thank you for watching. I made this video because I had all this footage of the stream I did, and I streamed basically the entirety of the game. I didn't really want it to go to waste, so I just decided to make a video. If you like this video, please let me know in the comments below. Hit the like button, helps. If you want to see more like this, you can also hit that subscribe button. I definitely will be posting streams onto my channel. Then if I have enough footage, I can make videos like these. Again, thanks for watching. Goodbye, everybody.